This is the story of a kind-hearted woman whose quiet life took a dark turn when a visit to see her ex-partner and his family ended in betrayal, tragedy, and a fight for justice. Before we uncover this chilling story, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you never miss our videos. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for your support. It means the world to us. Let's get started. Spain. On April 7th, 2021, 29-year-old Helen Aras left her house in Edo City and disappeared completely. She was going to a countryside area in Lyon province where her ex-partner's family lived. The journey did not seem suspicious. Helen had made this trip before. She had not talked about any problems and expected to come home that same day. But when night came, she stopped answering texts. Soon after, her phone stopped working too. Police later discovered her car with all her things still inside, but Helen was nowhere to be found. What started as a search for a missing woman soon became an important police case. Different stories from people, witnesses who would not talk, and confusing facts made everything more mysterious. Each new piece of information made the situation seem worse. At that time, nobody knew how bad it would really become. Helen Aras was born in 1992 in Edo, a town in northern Spain's Deterioration region. She grew up in an average family. Her mother and father lived simply, working normal jobs and trying to give their daughter a good home. As their only child, Helen was raised to be responsible and independent. The house was peaceful, with few big fights. Even as a child, Helen was known for being neat and disciplined. She did not need watching all the time and always did what she told her parents and teachers she would do. In grade school and high school, she got decent grades. When not in school, she liked being with her family, doing things alone instead of going to big parties. By high school, she already knew what she wanted: to help people. After finishing school, Helen went to Edo University to study social work and psychology. She wanted to learn real skills to help people during hard times. In university, she stayed out of trouble. She did not join student protests or political groups, only studying what interested her. People who knew Helen said she was quiet but nice. She did not like dangerous activities and enjoyed a simple, regular life. She always thought carefully before acting and never did things without planning. Though she did not show her feelings much, she always spoke truthfully. She had only a few good friends and was someone people trusted. During all her school years, she avoided bad crowds or wild behavior. Jose Bobadilla was several years older than Helen. When they met, he had already graduated and had a job. They first saw each other in 2018 in Edo at a relaxed meeting with common friends. After that, they started talking more and their relationship developed gradually. At the beginning, everything seemed fine with no clear problems. Jose appeared to be caring and polite. He truly cared about Helen's life, gave her privacy, always arrived on time, and acted properly. All of this fit Helen's idea of how a good relationship should be, so she saw no warning signs about him. A few months after they started dating, Jose brought Helen to meet his family. He lived in Praia de la Gaspina, a small country town in Lyon province. Helen met the Bobadilla family in 2019. She was introduced to his mother, father, and younger sister Andrea. At first glance, everything appeared normal. His parents did not act unfriendly toward Helen. Their talk was polite, though somewhat stiff. Jose's sister Andrea, being younger, acted interested and welcoming toward her brother's girlfriend. Helen did not see anything worrying during that first meeting. His family seemed well-mannered, if a little quiet. As months went by, their relationship kept growing. Helen began visiting Jose's family more often, and regular trips from Edo to Praia de la Gaspa became part of her schedule. Jose was helpful and assisted her with daily matters. He did not make unreasonable demands and often talked about their future, sharing his big plans. However, his work situation was not as stable. His earnings changed often, and he owed more than 13,000 euros. Helen knew about the debt, but she did not consider it a warning sign. She thought of it as his private matter and did not feel she needed to interfere. Helen also developed a friendly relationship with Andrea. Jose's sister was kind, chatty, and usually spoke openly with Helen. Over time, Helen became more connected to the Bobadilla family's daily life. But by 2020, things between Helen and Jose started changing. Underneath the peaceful surface, problems were appearing. Their talks became uncomfortable more often. Jose's actions became unpredictable, and he started hinting at personal problems without giving details. The main trouble seemed to be that same debt, still over 13,000 euros, which remained unpaid. While Helen had known about it, Jose would not talk about paying it back, never explained how he planned to handle it, and did not say if others were pressuring him. He did not suggest any real solutions or ask for assistance. Instead, Jose became more distant. He would sometimes vanish for hours without contact, not answering messages and giving no reason for his absence. His temper grew shorter and he acted more detached. What had once felt like a reliable relationship was now clearly growing cold. During this period, Andrea's role in their lives became more obvious. Jose's sister was frequently around, joining their talks, attending gatherings. While she never showed open dislike, her manner started carrying a subtle tension. Her conversations with Helen became more proper, missing their earlier friendliness. Andrea never spoke badly about her brother or mentioned his behavior, but her quietness only highlighted the increasing strain in the family. By the start of 2021, Jose's unpaid debt became more urgent. He started saying people were demanding their money back immediately. He never said exactly who was pressuring him, but made it clear the situation was bad. Helen didn't ask many questions, but she could see the stress affecting him. He began saying he didn't have time, canceling plans with weak excuses. His messages got shorter, and he stopped talking about their future together. Things got worse when Jose suggested selling the car they sometimes used together to pay some of the debt. The car technically belonged to him. His family had helped buy it. Helen didn't argue, but just bringing this up showed how bad things had gotten. Jose was now looking for quick solutions, yet he kept his family out of these money problems. This made Helen wonder if he really had any plan to fix things. During this time, Helen completely stopped talking to Jose's parents. Before, she would sometimes speak with them during visits, but that no longer happened. Andrea became her only connection to the family, and even that became rare. Helen knew less and less about what was happening. The debt problem grew more serious, but Jose shared even fewer details. He became distant, avoided important talks, and refused any help. They never had big fights, but his growing silence showed the relationship was falling apart. By spring 2021, everything became very formal between them. They rarely saw each other and only texted occasionally. They made no more plans together. Jose stopped talking about the future or showing any interest in staying together long term. He never actually broke up with her, but clearly wasn't invested anymore. Helen didn't try to fix things. She knew if the relationship was to continue, Jose would need to make the effort, but he never did. The money problem started everything falling apart, and Jose's behavior showed he couldn't handle the pressure. On April 7th, 2021, Helen Aras left her Edo home around 9 o'clock in the morning. She was going to Prado La Guspa, the small town in Lyon province where Jose Bobadilla lived. Even though she visited less often, Helen still went to see Jose and his family sometimes. She knew the way well and planned to come home that same day. She told her mother about the trip to Praia de la Gaspinina and said everything was okay. She didn't sound worried or upset. Helen's phone stayed on until about noon. The last known activity was around 1 p.m. After that, she disappeared. Helen stopped replying to messages, didn't answer calls, and didn't go online. People kept trying to reach her, but got no response. At first, Helen's family wasn't overly concerned. Her mother assumed she might be running late. But as evening approached, around 8 p.m., their unease grew. Helen still hadn't contacted anyone, and her phone remained switched off. This was completely unlike her. She always informed her family about schedule changes. All messages went unanswered, with no activity on any of her social accounts. By 10 p.m., worry turned to full-blown alarm. When they contacted Jose, his response raised immediate red flags. He claimed he hadn't seen Helen that day, nor received any messages from her. This directly contradicted Helen's statement to her mother about visiting him. More disturbing was his complete lack of concern. No offers to help search, no trip to Edo, no apparent interest in resolving the situation. His passive reaction seemed deeply unnatural. The following morning, Helen's distraught family filed an official missing persons report. Police immediately began retracing Helen's last known movements. Phone records confirmed she had reached Prauduspa, with her last signal detected around noon before going dead. Officers combed the area, interviewing residents. One witness reported seeing someone resembling Helen near the town's outskirts, but couldn't positively identify her. The lack of security cameras in the rural area provided no additional leads. Most troubling was the complete absence of evidence placing Helen at the Boadia residence. Despite Jose and Andrea both insisting she never arrived, a claim that directly conflicted with the phone's location data, intensifying investigators' suspicions. As detectives dug into Helen and Jose's relationship history and his family background, her relatives launched a social media campaign with her photo and details. Within the first day, police found no indications of foul play until they located Helen's car parked neatly near a train station in a neighboring town. The locked vehicle showed no signs of damage or struggle, with all her personal items, including her purse and identification, still inside. Only her phone was missing. This discovery shattered the theory of voluntary disappearance. The meticulous Helen would never abandon her belongings, especially her ID. Her stable mental health history and responsible nature ruled out the possibility she'd chosen to vanish. Authorities expanded the search operation dramatically. Police coordinated with local volunteers, deployed K-9 units and drones, and scoured nearby buildings and wooded areas. Media coverage amplified the family's pleas for information. Yet after 48 intensive hours, no credible sightings or leads emerged. Jose and his family continued maintaining they knew nothing, showing no willingness to assist searches or public concern. With all other possibilities exhausted, investigators officially reclassified the case as a potential criminal disappearance, focusing search efforts within a 3-mile radius of Helen's last phone ping. The case was transferred to a specialized investigative unit, with accidental circumstances definitively ruled out. Every passing hour deepened the grim realization that Helen had likely met with foul play. On April 11th, 2021, 4 days after Helen Aras was last seen, her body was found by a group of volunteers helping with the search. They were looking through an area near the town's edge when someone spotted broken branches and strange marks leading to a steep drop. At the bottom, covered by thick plants and debris, was the body. Police quickly blocked off the area. Their first look showed Helen lying face up. Her wrists had been tied with plastic straps. Bruises on her neck pointed to choking, and a head wound showed she had been hit hard. Her face appeared damaged. While no fight signs were visible at the scene, marks in the dirt suggested the body had been moved there after death. Close by, police found cut plastic ties, fabric pieces, and a ripped bag. Wheel marks in the dirt showed a car had been used. Her clothing and body showed no signs of sexual attack, but hairs not belonging to Helen were found nearby and taken for DNA testing. Officers carefully recorded everything: how deep the ravine was, possible ways to reach it, and about when the body might have been left there. Doctors confirmed Helen died from being choked. The head injury was bad, but not deadly. It probably knocked her out first. The death happened around the same time her phone stopped working. Experts said she died 1 to 2 hours after her last phone use. Her body had not been outside long. meaning someone brought it to the ravine after killing her and quickly hid it with whatever was around. That same day, police moved fast to catch those responsible. The first people arrested were Andrea Bobadilla and her ex-partner Raul. When questioned, Andrea gave important information. She said she helped hide the body and named Jose as the killer. She told police the fight between Jose and Helen happened inside the family home where the murder took place. Police arrested Jose Bobadilla just hours later. He did not fight the arrest. When first questioned, he said he had nothing to do with it and that Helen never visited him that day. But Andrea's story and Helen's phone location data proved this was not true. Evidence from where Helen's body was found matched things at Jose's house. Blood was found on a storage room floor. Tests showed it was Helen's. The plastic ties and fabric pieces matched materials found at the ravine. As police kept investigating, they pieced together what likely happened. Helen had come to town and met with Jose. They argued at some point. Jose hit her, knocking her out. Then he choked her to death. Andrea and Raul helped move the body, taking it to the remote ravine at night when no one would see. Within 2 days of the arrests, police had collected enough proof to bring official charges. All 3 suspects were kept in jail. The case was now called a planned crime with attempts to hide evidence. When questioned, Raul would not speak. He did not agree with Andrea's story, but he did not tell his own version either. His lawyer said Raul was there, but did not know what was really happening. However, investigators believed Raul knew what he was doing. He never told anyone about the crime and actually helped hide it. During his 3rd police interview, Jose partly confessed, saying he acted because his emotions were out of control. But investigators decided he meant to do it. He never tried to get help, never reported the crime, and worked hard to cover it up. Andrea and Raul were called helpers in the crime. Court papers show they could have walked away, but instead chose to help hide evidence. The proof against them included physical evidence, Andrea's confession, DNA tests, phone records, and expert reports about items from both the house and where the body was found. The investigation ended with charges of murder, helping a criminal, hiding a body, and lying to police. All 3 stayed in jail, waiting for their trial. The trial about Helen Aras' death started in early 2022. The main people accused were Jose Bobadilla, his sister Andrea, and Andrea's ex-partner Raul. Lawyers for the government said this was a planned crime with multiple people involved, followed by attempts to hide the body and evidence. In court, Jose partly admitted what he did. He said they argued and fought, but he did not mean to kill her. His lawyer said he was emotionally upset, was provoked, and did not plan for things to get so bad. The judge did not believe this story. The court decided witness statements, crime scene evidence, and what Jose did after the crime showed he meant to do it. Andrea repeated in court what she had told police before. She explained what each person did, keeping to her original story. Jose did the killing while she and Raul helped hide it. Her lawyer asked the judge to remember that her brother pressured her and that she did not actually hurt anyone. Raul never spoke during the trial. His lawyer said he did not mean to do anything wrong and did not completely understand what was happening. When the trial ended, the judge said all 3 were guilty. Jose Bobadilla got 25 years in prison. Andrea received 8 years for helping and hiding the crime. Raul was given 6 years for assisting. The government lawyers said these punishments were right. Helen's family attended every court hearing. Her mother acted as a private accuser in the case. She stood strong in her position. She wanted the harshest possible punishments for those responsible. When the judge announced the decision, she said she was unhappy because Andrea and Raul's prison sentences were not long enough. Jose's family chose not to speak to anyone about the case. Several months after the sentencing, Jose's legal team asked for a new trial. They argued that important evidence from the first trial shouldn't have been allowed. His lawyer said Andrea only confessed because she felt pressured, and that the things found in their home didn't absolutely prove Jose committed the crime. They also doubted whether the scientific evidence met proper legal requirements. The appeals court decided to look at the case again. In this second trial, government lawyers stuck to their original argument. They talked about how Jose carefully hid Helen's body, lied to police, and never tried to get help. But Jose's lawyers brought new points to court. They said the head injury Helen suffered wasn't deadly, and that doctors couldn't say for sure she was strangled. They stressed that no one could explain why Jose would do this, and that the first trial was affected by people demanding quick justice. This time, Andrea changed parts of her original story, saying she only said those things because she was upset. Raul also didn't repeat what he had said before. This made the case against Jose weaker. The court decided some of the first trial's evidence couldn't be used. With Andrea and Raul changing their stories and no clear proof that Jose physically hurt Helen, the court said there wasn't enough evidence to say he was guilty. In 2023, Jose was found not guilty and let out of jail. Many people became very angry about this decision. Helen's family said it wasn't fair. Her mother said the court's decision made people lose faith in the justice system. Government lawyers tried to challenge the not guilty verdict, but the higher court refused to hear the case again. After Jose went free, people argued about it for weeks. Social media was full of posts about it, many criticizing the legal system. Some people thought the court made a terrible mistake, while others said there really wasn't enough solid proof. Many started questioning whether they could trust the police and courts anymore. Fewer people talked about Andrea and Raul's situation. They stayed in prison serving their sentences. The Bobadilla family didn't say anything to the public after everything was over. Some important questions about Helen Aras' case were never answered, especially about why Jose would do this. In both trials, he never gave a clear explanation. Police think it might have been about money problems, emotional stress, and the failing relationship between Jose and Helen. Thanks for watching, everyone. Your support means a lot to me, and you can help my channel grow by hitting that like button, dropping a comment, and sharing this video. Your engagement really makes a difference. See you soon.